Welcome back to another episode of Sekolah Apa at the Sambal Pod, a platform where we are going to look at diversity with a different lens. So the different lens, meaning schools. So how the schools that we attended as a kid, how does that really affect our lives? And how does that build us as the Malaysians we are? So here with me, we have Bryant, a very good friend who has just joined in last minute from Melbourne, Australia. So thank you so much, Bryant, for being here. And just a bit of intro about Bryant. He's actually the former vice president of the Monash Political Awareness Club, and he's now the advisor of the club. And he's also now currently in a semester exchange at Melbourne in Monash University.
Hey anak muda, Afiq Kamaruddin here, one half of the founding members of Renegade Radio, and we're so proud to be collaborating with the Sambal Pod on this intriguing yet eye-opening project called Sekolah Apa. At Renegade Radio, we're rebels with a cause. Armed with an independent network and an agency, we sought to help brands and creators build powerful podcasts to amplify their voice and cement their authority. To find out more about us, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and pretty soon, a brand new website. On behalf of Renegade Radio, we sincerely believe in the mission and vision of the Sambal Pod, and we hope you guys enjoy the show. So, kau sekolah apa?
Let's just get on to it. So, Bryant, kau sekolah apa?
Sekolah apa? Sekolah International School. I was from Shah Alam International School. The name's called Do Your Mas. Basically, the school is under the family parent organization called Ace Adventure. They also have tuition centers. Then they also have this so-called Wawasan, they call it PTS, called Pusat Tuition Series. I think they've now spin it off to a school now. And they also have Sri Mas, is much more commonly known, much more famous, is the sister school being Sri Mas. I went to Do Your Mas that were more famed for themselves to be more entrepreneurial. They have more entrepreneurial programs. While also everything was conducted, and to finish your secondary school, you would get the International General Certificate, which is IGCSE, which is the UK's GCSEs, but the international one. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I have a lot of questions before we get on to it. Is it true, something I heard from the grapevine, which is basically from you, lah. Is it true that we have a certain politician's kid who's studying at your school at the moment?
Stop it. Get some help.
As far as I know from my juniors, apparently so. One of the politicians' children are there, and yeah, apparently so. Right now, I think he's studying secondary, so I think like year 10, year 9, yeah. So yeah.
That means your school is that good, lah. Till politicians are also
I don't know how to. I cannot say if it's good, but it's more like, I guess it's well recognized because the founder of the school, founder of the organization, Ace Adventure, was formerly a teacher. And she came out from the government school system and wanted to found that, one better education for Malaysians, and came out and believed that English is an important tool for Malaysia and especially for children. So she went with doing tuition centers first. Her name is Ann Tam, called Teacher Ann. She is the founder, ANNETHAM. So yeah. Actually, my brother went to her tuition centers first, and that's how I got myself to the tuition center, my sister as well, then me entering the international school. My brother and sister never went to international school, so I was quite fortunate to have that opportunity too.
So you are the privileged child lah. You are suddenly the anak emas, okay. Is it?
Don't say that lah. Macam tu tak baik leh. Susah hati saya. I feel very guilty now. I feel very guilty now. My grades are not even as good as my brother and sister. That's even worse.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. But I guess you're just grateful for the opportunity you have lah, right?
Yeah. I think because I'm more English educated rather than Chinese educated, even though I'm Malaysian Chinese. But I was more brought up with especially the UK culture, and I was watching a lot of football and a lot of UK television shows. That was what I was brought up with. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's start off with the question that all of us will think lah. Whenever we think of international school students, you're all the rich atas kids. So is that true? Is it true that all the kids in international school come from a higher socioeconomic status? And if that is true, does that sort of like, makes the pressure to succeed even more bigger? Like, does it increase the pressure to succeed? Because just now in the previous episode, we were talking about, we had a vernacular school episode, but one thing we found in common were Asian parents and, the tendency of Asian parents being helicopter parents and pushing their kids. So basically, most of us went through the same upbringing, of having that sort of pressure to succeed, at least academically. So how was it for you?
Well, I'll answer the first question first. Just to clarify, I did come from vernacular school. I did UPSR. I came from SJKC. So yeah, I did come from the government school product, half of it. Then I did my secondary school in international school. So I did year 7, year 8, year 10, 11. My school allowed me to skip year 9 because my grades were decent. They look more about your hard work, and I won't say hard work, but more on towards your attitude towards studying and you as a student itself, whether you're allowed to skip the year or not. So that allowed my parents to save money as well, pretty good. So is it true that most students come from a higher socio-economic bubble? I would say, yeah, definitely. But I've seen some students in instances that their socio-economic bubble is not, you won't even say M40. They are decently living. They live in the terrace house, or they just live in apartments, not even condominiums, just apartments itself. I have a few friends that are, and they are decently well off. They don't have the lifestyle of what you think of a rich, but they have the bank in the money. They have the money in the bank that is rich, but they don't show it. So I think a lot of, I guess, the friend circle, of the people that I was with in international school, my group in the international school were more low key. We didn't really have like the lifestyle of rich. We just like, here and there we'll go out, but most of the time just because our families are more towards asking us to be humble. It's very important to have humility. And at the end of the day, it's not my money, it's my parents' money. They invested in my future. So, and to the second question, does it have higher pressure on me to succeed? In some ways, yes. I think some children don't get that. Some children do, especially if they come from big wigs or like from VIPs, very important personnel, or they're like CEOs, or their family comes from like have their own company startup, and they have to be the ones that's taking hands next up. So for me, because my family, we didn't have a family business of sort. My mom and dad came from just working through the system. One from corporate, one was actually working in government. So yeah, I'd say there is that pressure because I did mention earlier my brother and sister were much better than me academically, even though they did SPM and even in uni. So I have that pressure. I've already not even in the same level as them on my grades wise, but I try to make out of it with, anything that's extracurriculars or other activities that I can do. So yeah, in short answer, higher pressure, it depends. For me, I do feel it, but it's not like all the time. It's not as like, I won't say it's like 100%, every day you feel the pressure. You're just feeling it here and there because it's like, it's shown, but it's not like, it's implicit. Yeah, it's not explicit pressure.
Is it something like Sky Castle? Have you watched Sky Castle? Are you familiar with Korean dramas?
We are lying, tell you the truth.
All the anak muda listening in, Sky Castle is known to be this. It's quite. I don't know if it's famous among people who consume Korean content, but I found that drama. That drama resonated with me a lot because, that drama brought Asian parents to the next level. Okay, these parents were just pure evil. They were not even thinking about their kids' success. They were just, their kids were just their ego tools. Those who want to watch, go check Sky Castle out lah. It's an old K-drama anyway. But yes, talking about education. What is the impact of a different education system? Maybe you can compare that with your siblings because like what you said, your brother and sister, they did not attend private schooling, they did not go to international school. So is it different, comparing to you, maybe try to give an example of what you're doing right now, if you don't mind sharing. And also, another question I'm curious of is, are you on this particular exchange student program in Monash, in Australia, because of your international school experience?
I'll answer the first question first.
Yes.
It's pretty much that I don't think there's not much change because me and my siblings, our age gap was very big. So
Okay.
when I entered international school, my sister was already in higher university. My brother was already working. My brother's actually working as an auditor. My sister is a lawyer. So levels in the professional
Okay.
services industry. Quite hard to
Okay.
match up, but I'll try my best. I still have a year left. Well, a few more
Okay,
months. Then I have
Syahyo,
to enter
good
the
luck.
working world.
Okay.
Yeah, susah lah. But I think I would say my brothers, I don't think we have very, I guess maybe you can say somewhat thinking wise. I believe that when you come out from, I guess, international school, because it's not the same. It's very hard. You can't generalize international schools as, oh, you'll chat a lot. You'll talk. That's the stereotype that like my mom had for me. Oh, you talk a lot because you come from international school. You know,
Oh, really?
there is this I won't call it stigma, more
Stereotype.
like a stereotype that, oh, you talk a lot. You
Okay.
definitely came from international school. You know, you know how to
That
talk.
means you're more opinionated?
Like, is it?
Is it?
Yeah, more opinionated, talk out banyak, you know, chit chat, but
Okay. Okay.
like all talk, no action, no action talk only. Shai Sadiq love that quote.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Nato.
okay.
Yeah, but I think it depends on personnel. It's not really about it's not everything. It's not, you can't generalize all international school students will be like that. It's just that you brought in a
Okay.
system that for the international school that I came from under Ace Adventure organization, try to fail. Actually, it's a lot of times is make a lot of mistakes so that you'll learn. I think that was the biggest part of when I came to
The biggest
secondary school
takeaway?
and compared to primary school.
Mm.
The biggest takeaway, yeah, definitely. I think when I was in government school, everyone was like, okay, you got to be good, you got to be correct. But when I was in international school, you know, don't fear failure, make mistakes, just don't make them again. You make them again, then you are stupid. But if you make them, then the next one you do better, you excel much better. You know, so pretty much that's how it is. And they really there's a lot of encouragement. It's a lot of encouragement there is in international school. Some might say more relaxed. I can agree to that. Well, it really depends on it's more about how you want to put yourself in. It's really a lot on how much effort you're going to put in. If you want to put in a lot of effort, then you'll feel a lot of pressure. But if you feel like, you know, you just want to have it easy, you want to enjoy, and you just really want to learn. It depends on, one is studying for grades and one is actually learning. There's two different things between studying and learning. Studying is to study, but you're not necessarily learning also. You're just studying for the grades. You swallow everything, do for the exams. But after the exams,
Yeah.
you totally forget everything.
Yeah.
Learning, you may learn a lot of stuff. You may not do well in the grades, but you actually apply and you kind of take it as a knowledge and, you know, apply it wherever you go. So that's the biggest key part I learned when I was in international school. And I think that's what my parents also told me, you know. There's a difference between studying and learning. Because learning can learn from everywhere. It's not just from school, especially at home. So yeah.
It's a good point lah, because whenever we talk about learning, I think we always focus on SPM grades, we always focus on UPU applications, especially when you know, I think race also becomes a factor in that, you know, for non-Muslims, you have to fight with the quota given in by the university. So for my parents, when I was younger, their concept was simple. I don't really care what you do, you need to get into a government channel because we are not going to sponsor your education. So I came from that kind of parents. So I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying that some people may not come from parents who are like that. So there's no good or wrong behind it as well. I feel like it does teach you a lot. It does teach you self-discipline. I think self-discipline is an attitude that I attribute a lot to my childhood. But that is when it comes to me. So, but I feel like this is a point that's often brought up by international school kids. The difference between learning for your grades and learning as in learning to just be a better person, learning to genuinely learn as a human being. So I don't know, maybe it's the system in international schools that provide that kind of pathway so that you as students, you know, you guys when you were kids don't only think about mindlessly competing with your peers to get those awards and the highest marks and stuff like that.
International school students can be quite let's just say they don't really have good personalities and characteristics. So yeah, just saying that it's a human thing, not a system thing sometimes. So
Yes, it's
you
a
can't say that
human
the
thing.
system
Yes,
trains good humans. Yeah.
that was actually my next question. I wanted to ask, are all international school students lancy? But I guess you have addressed that already. So
As I said, it depends on the person. It really
yes,
comes down
obviously
to,
at the
I
end of the
think
day, it comes down to the
it's
individual.
the environment is the environment.
Yeah.
You know, yes, international school. I would say my international school was very small in terms of cohort because we were quite new. DUMAS was quite new compared to SRIAMAS. SRIAMAS was established like when I came in 2016. SRIAMAS was already there for like 8 years. DUMAS just really officially
Just
started
started.
operating around like 2014. So yeah.
So you were like
And
the first
my
batch,
cohort,
second batch?
yeah, first batch, because during 2014 and 2016, 2015, they were using the Suyumas facilities. Duyumas was still being built. Only 2016, when I came in, where they first started to operate on their school campus. Yeah. So I was the first batch. One of them.
Okay, interesting. When you talk about international school or private school students, I think another, for most of us who have not attended this kind of schooling, the picture that we get is when you watch this kind of, recently there was this recent K-drama called Hierarchy. I did not watch the K-drama, but basically, you have this kind of stereotypical movies where they show all these kids in international school being son of the biggest CEOs in the country, coming in with BMWs, Mercedes, wearing Rolex as school students. So we I think a lot of people do tend to have that kind of stereotype as well when they see private schooling students. So what were your struggles actually when you were in school?
So I'd say for me, it's not that I didn't. My family, we don't drive BMWs, so just Toyota, Japanese cars, best, Malaysian car, Toyota, Proton, Honda, settled.
Yeah, it's
Very
Malaysian
good.
car lah.
Don't need
True.
the Continental cars. All CKD, all CKD here. So I think that perception is really from the hierarchy, that K-drama, right? Like you see them. Actually, my international school, we didn't have to wear suits and stuff. It was just a uniform, a polo shirt. It's like a polo shirt.
So you all didn't have the cool uniforms lah.
Nah.
No.
It was some bright color, turquoise. Suyumas is a better color because it's dark maroon. Ours was turquoise. It was kind of nah.
Okay.
But I think it really comes down, because for me, when I was in school, I felt over time, I always felt myself to be I don't have a group of people I'm with. I'm always in between. It's either in between the people that came from very Chinese school or people that came from international school. When I came into that cohort, there are two groups of people. If you want to want me to simplify, one group is those that are very English speaking, very international school came up. Okay. Another was just that they came from the Chinese school or the government school, the vernacular school.
Okay.
And they came into that school. So there were two groups. I came from a Chinese school, but I was very English speaking. So I found myself to be dilly-dallying, lompat, I lompat to the left, I
between
lompat,
both of these
to
groups
the English speaking, I lompat to the Chinese speaking. Yeah, you can say I'm a frog lah, whenever, but...
So you had that advantage, I think
like
that school, you had that advantage to mingle with both groups, yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of say that. I did have the advantage, but you always had this self-reflection of okay, who am I really? And then I think over time, I only at the latter years, I only I'll just be myself. What's the point of me trying to assimilate myself into a group and just, if I'm the middleman, I'll just be the middleman. It could be even better as well. So, yeah.
So the identity crisis was a bit of a challenge? I think that's kind of normal considering, we were teenagers at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it especially if you already had your own friend group, core group in high school, and then when you come to uni, for me, when I came to uni, it's even worse because I didn't have any friends that went to uni with me. I came to Monash alone. Okay. So, yeah, I had to kind of adapt and really figure out, okay, who am I, as alone, as an individual, So, pretty much, yeah, I think I got to learn that more and more, and especially now in university, it's kind of like a mini setup stage for you to go to the working world. Yeah. Hopefully I'm ready. We'll see in a few minutes' time. Yeah.
Yes, all the best. So yes, talking about the adulting world, right? So how did your school life actually shape your current mentality that you have?
Well, I don't know. Sorry. I feel like a lot of my current mentality was shifted for the past 2 years in university. I do think that, before I joined uni, I did felt like I didn't need university. But luckily I did.
Okay.
Because otherwise I wouldn't have these experiences I have.
Okay.
The grades-wise, I don't think about it. The grades are just not amazing. But I think it's the experience, but the extracurriculars
But you were
I
learning
got
something,
experience.
right? Like what you mentioned just now. You need to learn something.
Yeah, so I was learning not just from the study. Some of the units I did was very interesting and I still take it to this day. Being part of the club, like the Monash Political Awareness Club. I just want to say this here, but the Political Awareness Club was actually founded in Malaysia. It was right before the election, general election 2022, July 2022.
Okay.
And it was
before Langkah
I was
Sheraton
the
was it before
no,
or
no,
after?
2022. No,
Oh,
after
2022.
2022. G.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
before G15. Yeah. So
Oh, before G15. Okay.
yeah, before G15. It was in Monash. So it really sparked about political awareness, and it's one of the only clubs you can have in Monash, in Malaysia in general, because of AUKU and stuff. So it had to be non-partisan. That was important. And I was part of the committee that wasn't the founder, but a semester after that, I was working with the founders and talking to them. That I became the head committee, like one of the excos, the batch after that. So I was the second batch of the committee. So yeah, now advising to them from Australia. But so far, it's more like, I guess, the international school system, how that, and the life I had, it gave me a sense of understanding of, I guess, more English speaking, and it helped being in the international school actually, because the school actually promote us to do a lot of presentations, a lot of group work. So to that, it helped me to get into uni life or college life much more.
So it helped your soft
integrated,
skills,
much easier.
development of your soft skills.
Yeah.
Is it?
Definitely.
Okay.
I think, yeah, if you went to international school, generally speaking, you definitely, I think for all international schools, you definitely have more, I won't say you're better, you have more experience in soft skills. Because they really want you to speak up more. So, yeah.
Okay. So you have been exposed to the Chinese community, the Chinese speaking community when you were younger, and then you got used to the English speaking community as you grow, and that has somehow led you to shape your own identity. And now you're in Australia, right? Furthering your studies. So from all that perspectives, can you share the Malaysia that you dream of to end this episode?
Well, okay, because I don't have the Malays, like, went to the school with, like, majority Malays community. I do have Malay friends and, like, that were in the international school as well, and I have, like, Malay friends outside of it, because I was more active in extracurricular. My Malaysian dream would be, hopefully, is that we are all very inclusive, we all live in harmony, and we all can work together harmoniously. And we all can grow together better and much more inclusive as well. I'd say, hopefully, the next 20-30 years, as Malaysia really transition from emerging economy to an actual developed economy, there's a much more equitable living in terms of no matter what race you are, a very equitable distributed, not even distribution, just equitable living for all people, no matter what race or skin color you are. And that's most important, and it's about a lot of mutual harmony and understanding, and once we have that, we can really achieve a lot. And that's the Malaysia I hope and dream of, and hopefully you can see that in the next few years' times.
Obviously, it's a point that everyone brings up, but I'm glad that you brought up the economic part as well. Because, I mean, to just put it in blunt words, I mean, we all do need better living wages to survive. But yeah, I guess that's a whole different topic for a different episode. But yes, I think that is something to...
We could have an economic episode. I'm pretty sure Sambal Pod would love to have that.
Okay, we'll have that and then we'll get you on. Okay, so Bryant, that is it. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much for joining in this episode. And yes, to all our listeners, thank you so much for listening in. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.